we're going to catch all the things that they should refer back to.
Nice.
So let's start off with our Apple Arcade versus Google Pass. So these two services are essentially, you pay $5 a month, they're both $5 a month, and you get access to this like library of games through their mobile devices. Now, personally, I'm not a mobile gamer normally. I know you're not, right?
Only when I find a good free one.
Right. Well, yeah.
Honestly, my phone doesn't have enough memory anymore to upload any more games.
It's tough for an upgrade.
Yeah, it definitely overdue.
So yeah, that's the idea. Apple Arcade announced theirs a while back, and then it was almost like reactionary that Google Play was like, oh yeah, but we got one too, and Google busted out theirs. So we're gonna kind of break down what the difference is between the two of them and what they have in common. Let's go off of what's in common first. The games that are available have no ads, and they have no in-game purchases. That's kind of nice, you know.
Yeah.
The next is that they have their own tab within their stores. So if you're an arcade member, it's on the bottom, and you just click on arcade, and you're good to go. And you know, it's kind of nice because then if you have, so my big overarching thing is I think these services are really good for parents with kids because we have another brother, Miguel, who has his kids, and a lot of times they're on his phone. Yeah. And it'd be nice to be like, yeah, but you can only download things off of this tab.
Yeah, because you know, if you've ever watched one of the kids, which I know you have. They're always looking through your tablet or your phone or whatever, like, hey, you know, Uncle Frank, Uncle John, can I download this game?
Exactly.
Oh, how much does it cost? If it's free, sure, download any free game as long as it's not scary. But when it's like, oh, well, this one's, you know, $1.99, that one's $10.99. Let's go back and get the $1.99 game or something like that.
And a lot of the free games are even worse because once you're in, they'll have silly in-game. There's one video, whatever, I don't remember what it was. They were talking about this one game where it was like $7 a month or a week. And it gave you like 3 extra lives or whatever, but that was like the bonus package. And the idea is that kids are hooked, and kids are picking it up and not knowing. Yeah, they're raking in the dough. So that's just silly. Actually, I think it was Odd One Outs. Actually, it was one of his videos. So check that out. Anyway, so no in-game purchase is pretty amazing. The next thing is that they can both be played on all supporting devices. So say that you have. You know, Google Play, Google Chrome, whatever, everything else that's Google with the Android operating system, you can play all your Google Play devices or your Google Play Pass. And then same thing with Arcade. So Apple TV, you know, on the iPad, everything like that. So it could be pretty much everywhere.
Do those two not cross each other? If you have a Google product, you can't download Apple games on it?
Correct.
That's disappointing.
You didn't know that?
One of those two high five and just share.
Because corporate greed.
But if...
This is America.
If I own Google and I want my product on everybody's tablet,
there is some don't get me wrong. Like I use Gmail, but I have an iPhone. Yeah, that still exists, but there are exclusives still. Just like The Last of Us will always be a PlayStation game.
That just seems like you can make more money if you can sell it on twice as many devices.
The idea is they're trying to sell the devices.
Yeah, but base that on the quality of your device, not the content that you're streaming through it.
Good call. Yeah, it's crazy. And so and the main thing is the save will continue through all of them. So if you played a little bit on your iPad and then you go to work or whatever, you can continue playing on your iPhone.
That's kind of like we've talked about Stadia before.
Oh too. Yeah, well, I'm waiting for Stadia to take over the world. I'm cool with that. And then another exciting thing is that this could lead to a future of no microtransactions in app, or a plethora of apps that have no microtransactions. Because on Apple's end, anyways, they're funding these games to be made. They're actually made by Apple Arcade money. So
the games are made by our monthly subscription,
right?
Okay.
For Apple Arcade, so far Google Pass doesn't do that, but Apple Arcade does.
See, I think backwards. I think microtransactions will be the future because. You will get hooked to not buy the $5 a month subscription that you're willing to pay for a game you don't know about, but you'll be hooked by the free game that you're interested in. Try it, play it, and then pay the microtransactions once you're interested in it.
Yeah, but the thing is if this works, then we can get high quality games that are pre-funded. You know what I'm saying? Like then they're funded with.
Focus on the quality, not the getting paid
from a game developer part. If the money you're getting is coming from microtransactions, then the way you're making the game is to milk the microtransactions. Yeah. And then so you're just creating a slot machine for me. And I'd rather a game developer's like, I really want to tell a good story. I just want to focus on the story.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So we want it to be, as a consumer, we would prefer it as a gamer to come from a subscription rather than microtransactions.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I'm hoping for. Yeah. Okay. So Apple Arcade, they offer a free month. And you're able to try them out for a month. You guys go ahead and do that. I suckered into that, so I'm in there. Nice. And one thing that's cool is the games that you get there are exclusive to Apple, and many of them are funded by Apple. Mm-hmm. They have some really fun games. Some of the big ones that I liked, but I wasn't very good at, is this Hot Lava, where you're going around from room to room, and you're actually like the floor is lava.
Nice.
And I'm really not good at it, but it was fun to play.
That sounds like a really good VR game.
It feels like a VR game, but it's on your phone. Nice. But it was pretty good. Rayman Mini was really good, but you're always moving, so it's kind of like, unlike other Raymans where you're actually controlling left and right. This, you're always moving forward, but it was a little hard to control. But it was still a very good, well done game. These games are very well made over at Apple Arcade. And then the one I really liked was Oceanhorn 2. This is the sequel to the classic Oceanhorn, and it's like this adventure, kind of like a Link, like adventure, like a Zelda game.
Yeah.
Very easy to control. Graphics were stellar. It was an all around really, really good game. And I thought it was really good. So next up, Google Play Pass, some of their stuff is they give you 10 days for free. And then one thing I really like is if you subscribe for a year, you can pay just $2 a month.
That's not bad.
For the first year.
Yeah, that's dirt cheap.
That is dirt cheap. And their approach is different than, and you can tell it's because it's reactionary. Instead of giving you new exclusive games, they give you a bunch of classic awesome games that you can play free through their system. So Terra, which is really good. I don't know if you've ever played Terra.
No.
Terraria, whatever. It's like a 2D version of Minecraft.
Terraria?
Yeah, that one. It's like a 2D version of Minecraft, and I've played it before. It is a lot of fun. Stardew Valley, one of the best games out there, which is this farm simulator game, but it's got a good story. It's got a lot to it. Reigns, which is really good. And then Star Wars: The Old Republic, which is one of the best story-driven games out there. I actually played this on iPad recently. So these games are not exclusive to Google Pass or to Google at all or Android, but they are part of their deal. So it's kind of like, do you want new exclusive titles funded through your subscription, or do you just want free access to a lot of classic games? Apple says that none of these games that are on their arcade are leaving, while Google says that those games, there's a very good chance that they will leave, like they'll have a rotating selection. So it's kind of tricky on that part. Out of those two, which one do you think would be better?
So I have a hard time putting any money or much attention into mobile games.
It's hard, yeah.
And it makes me sad because I know that's just me. The next generation, kids are only looking at mobile games. That's all that and
it's like
Vines and memes and whatever social media is throwing at them.
You know how old school you sound like saying
I know.
Vines.
Vines are outdated already. God, I didn't even get on that train. It already fell out from under my feet. God, I'm so old.
Don't worry, your Mind Spice is doing really good.
But yeah, my MySpace. That's one thing I was just thinking about too. Is like when you used to be able to put games on MySpace and stuff like that.
I made mine like an arcade because it had like, I remember it had Pac-Man and Frogger. It had all of them.
But yeah, so it's not for me. I don't like these. I mean, I play whatever. When I get bored, I'll download. Like I just downloaded a free Hangman game and a free air hockey game. So when me and my wife are waiting for dinner at a restaurant, we just play air hockey on my phone real quick. But other than that, like I don't get invested in these games. If I want to get invested in a game, it needs to be more than just what a phone can provide. I need to sit at a monitor, have full controls of a keyboard, have headphones on, and get immersed into the game. What a phone offers isn't enough to me. So I don't know. I'm not really interested in either of these. I download whatever they have for free content, sure, but paid games, I don't want any of them.
So I have, again, I'm not a big fan of mobile like you are, but I have actually played like solid full games through mobile. Mm-hmm. Star Wars: The Old Republic was probably the most notable that I can think of right now off the top of my head. Played it all the way through. It was a revisit for me, but still, I mean, that was a full $60 worth of game that I played through on mobile, and it was still just as impactful. Controls were not as good because, again, I didn't grow up with those controls, but for the kids, that's just second nature to them.
You followed the story the same, but were you immersed like you would be in a PC game?
Towards the end, I was, because that's how Old Republic is. That story's so good at the end. It's crazy. I don't want to give any spoilers in case you were trying it out, but it's really good. So I think there can be time. Bastion's a really good mobile game I played.
Yeah.
I think Oceanhorn's gonna be really good as well.
Speaking of simple games, back on MySpace, there was a game back in the day I used to play that I loved, and I don't know the name of it.
Snake.
I don't know the name of it. It was only on the computer back then, but it was so simple. It could be a mobile game, but it was something where you have a little rocket ship and you fly around and you destroy these asteroids, and in them is different materials, different resources.
Yeah.
And you have to collect certain resources to be able to continue your mission. And it was a very simple game. I've looked online, Googled it in different terms.
It sounds like Asteroid, but I think that's too...
It's not. It's a little bit past Asteroid, but you fly through space.
Yeah, because I don't think they had the materials part.
Yeah, and you destroy different asteroids and find like, okay, this one had this.
You might really like the game called Eve, but that's like...
Maybe.
If you think WoW's addicting.
Yeah. Oh, God, I need less
Eve
addictions.
has built and destroyed lives.
Really?
Yeah, Eve Online. Yeah, that's just amazing.
Yeah, I know. I'm okay.
I don't play EVE Online because you could only pick one addiction at a time. You can't also be putting heroin and crack in your system.
Same time.
Yeah, so mine is World of Warcraft. But for those who play EVE Online, I like to watch a lot of videos. Mm-hmm. And they had a trailer a while ago. Me and Joe watched it a couple of times. That was the trailer's audio was like at the time vent, or what we call Discord now, basically.
Yeah.
So you're actually listening to a raid while you're watching the videos, and you're like, man, I want to be a part of that. It was so enticing.
Oh, God.
Yeah. I stayed away from that drug because I could only pick one at a time.
Right.
But yeah, so personally, I'm going to say Apple Arcade's winning this one so far because I really like the idea of funding the games without microtransactions.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, both of them are doing that, but they're actually putting up the money for these games.
Yeah.
So I really hope Apple carries through on this and creates some really good ones. Oceanhorn is a really good sign.
I think microtransactions are fine as long as they are strictly kept as an afterthought and not part of the funding of the game. If you want to, afterwards release a bunch of skins that people can buy just to make the game more fun, that's totally cool. But don't base your game on expecting people to, buy those skins. And that's what your developers are spending all their time and focus on. That ruins the game for the players.
Or if it gives you an unfair advantage to pay money, because we're about to do
ridiculous.
A review for Ghost Recon Breakpoint, and
that ruins games.
There's a little bit of
when
that.
People can cheat or hack or have an unfair advantage. You just throw the game away. All the time I invested in playing that game, building my character, is just garbage because somebody else can have it without having.
Could you imagine playing Minecraft and you for $5 you get a diamond pickaxe right away?
Creative mode ruins the game. Anybody who plays in creative is just a freaking waste of time. So throw your game away.
Brody, our nephew, he watches sometimes, listens sometimes, and I've talked to him before. Where he's like, oh, I love Minecraft, but he has only played creative mode. He doesn't. I mean, I've sat him down with Survivor. He hasn't, and I'm like. I'm telling you, Brody, and then there's a lot of people who swear by creative mode, and they do amazing things.
Yeah, they can build, but it's just a sandbox at that point. When you go in survival mode, it is you stepped into this world, though it has very limited functionality of a regular world, but you have to survive. You gather your resources. If you need to eat, you got to go punch some chickens until you can eat.
And even the survival aspect fades away pretty quickly because eventually you make a farm and you're good, right? But but the idea of the thing with survival mode is you run out of resources. Yeah. So
you want to build a castle, you're just mining down a mountain.
Small Beans podcast, very good podcast that we're big fans of. They had a good point where one thing that Minecraft does well is you'll be creating something, and right about the time when you get tired is when it's time to go mine for more. Mm-hmm. And then when you're mining for more, that creates a whole different kind of game. And then about when you're tired of mining is when you have enough diamonds and stuff like that to go out and create again.
You use resources.
So you bounce back and forth, and even like day and night kind of puts you at that. Because ideally the idea is that during night you go mine, and during the day you go build because,
the evidence, to me, the biggest evidence of the value of creative mode or of survival mode. In creative, if you die, there is zero consequence. You don't give at all. Man. You don't care. If you die in survival mode, you have your diamond gear, your diamond pickaxe. You've been carrying materials that you've been farming for hours, and you just got blown up by a creeper, and your mat's all thrown into lava. Your computer is destroyed because you were so pissed off. Your neighbor knows how mad you are because your monitor went out your window and into their window. You're so pissed, and you just cursed out your whole family. It's bad.
There's a mix. It's a wonderful mix of both rage and panic because you have 10 minutes to get back to your body or something like that. Yeah. And you were just like, do I recognize that rock?
The biggest question: where the fuck was I? Damn, I did not save my coordinates. If you're using F3 to find your coordinates, I did not save them. I didn't use torches or anything to leave directions to where I was.
Just exploring.
There was that one canyon. That damn pig I didn't kill. That lucky bastard, but he was standing on the same corner.
And then once you get into your cave, you're like, I didn't mark anyway.
Yeah.
And then if you're in the nether when you died, you're like right outside the nether portal. Okay, as soon as I walk in, the timer starts. Here we go. Ready, set, go. And you're like, run.
Oh my God.
And it's funny the chances you make running back to your body compared to when you have the stuff on you. Because when you have the stuff on you, you were like double checking for creepers.
You're willing to die.
Yeah.
What I always
mad jumps in.
What I always forget is you still need the bare necessities of elements to get back to your body. So a wood pickaxe would help. Basic food would help. Like a few things, if you can just grab them before you start running, would really save you a little bit. But
there are times where you're like, one heart left.
Yeah.
I have to get back to my body. I know I had meat on that thing.
Witch poison? Oh my God.
Oh man. That's a good way to really spike the heart rate.
So try out Minecraft. Do not even switch to creative mode. Just do survival.
And don't play on mobile.
Yeah.
play
play PC.
Stuff on PC. Not on Xbox, not on PlayStation. PC is the way to play Minecraft.
Definitely.
Man, that game is so good. Okay, so yeah, that's Apple versus Google Pass. I'm gonna say go Apple Arcade myself. Any preferences out of those two?
Yeah, I use all Apple products, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say go Apple.
I think that's gonna be the driving factor for a lot of people.
Yeah.